Ink T to the Jeep, man. Who you think it gonna be? And I'm back, man, with another reaction. This one's brand new. Came across my desk by somebody of the name of Cash Jordan, who does a lot of human interest pieces on the current crisis in New York between the migrants and the homelessness. This is a new one he just dropped that says NYC gets worse. Shoplifters raid Costco. Without wasting time, let's get into it.
Retailers believe shoplifters have become at least somewhat more aggressive. On top of that, this Costco right over here, the only one in Manhattan, is being targeted relentlessly by thieves who succeeded in shutting down Manhattan's first ever Target just a few months ago, which was located next door in this very...
Yo, they shutting down. See, this is why I wanted to watch this because I'm from the Bay Area of California, and the same thing is going on in San Francisco, Oakland, and everything's shutting down because people are just stealing everything that's not nailed down. So this is very interesting. They said they had a Target closed right next to it, and they're just like, let's go.
Down Manhattan's first ever Target just a few months ago, which was located next door in this very same facility, because in New York, everything from a toothbrush to a handbag is a target for criminals who fear nothing.
They come here, they steal, and I told them, they're hurting the neighborhood.
It is a body blow to this community, for the people who shop here, for the many people who work here.
Where are the people in the community going to go now?
This 3 a.m. break-in was the third time in 2 months that thieves targeted the Couture Trader store on Route 46. The thieves were in and out in 2 minutes.
Retailers in New York State lose billions of dollars a year from retail theft, and one company has had enough. If you shop at HomeGoods, Marshalls, or TJ Maxx, you may now see store employees outfitted with body cameras.
A potential shoplifter goes into the store, sees somebody wearing one of the tactical vests or a security vest with the body cam, and thinks, okay, I might get photographed.
Many times I see people walking through the exit.
Wow, they said this, the security guards at the Target's got to wear body cams like the police. Like, this is crazy.
We were surprised and caught flat-footed when we heard the news yesterday morning.
It's sad because as our community, it's the reason why it's closed.
And the long-term concern, if Target's leaving, who will do the same?
Right? In San Francisco right now, all the designer stores are definitely gone. There's no more Louis Vuitton, Neiman Marcus, but like they took out Burlington Coat Factory. We don't have they closed the whole mall downtown, the whole Westfield. Like, this is where it's leading us, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just crazy. I shop at a Target cost. That's crazy.
So the only Costco in Manhattan has a secret shoplifting problem. But what nobody's talking about is that this very same neighborhood suffered a massive setback when the Target that was also in here closed just a few months ago, hurting the development of East Harlem, where over 100,000 people live in this small slice of Upper Manhattan, devoid of reliable public transit as there are very few subway lines, and which neighborhood proponents say doesn't have enough rich people or enough fancy tourist attractions to attract enough police to keep the stores up here safe. But even if we did have more police, New York's laws protect our criminals instead of prosecuting them. And for every criminal arrested for shoplifting, 10 more get released, charges dropped by a progressive justice system that would rather look for the root causes of crime instead of the criminals actively committing those very same crimes. But if that sounds ridiculous to you, this entire situation gets worse every single day, because today, shoplifting is now 35% higher than it was just 3 years ago. Which is why every time you go to buy anything, you'll find progressively more rows of progressive plexiglass, supposedly to deter criminals.
And that's super true, though. Like, I was at Costco the other day, and I went to go get some. What the hell did I go get? Oh, I went to go get some Aqua 4 for my tattoo. I got a new tattoo. I went to get some Aqua 4. And they had that thing locked. And I had to wait 15 minutes for somebody to come unlock. I'm like, bro, for this? The little gel? Like, what we doing? Like, but yeah, now it makes sense.
Which sadly don't seem to work anymore as the thief.
Let me know in the comments, though, if you guys have noticed, like, it being progressively worse when you go to, like, buy anything and things are just locked up, like, behind plexiglass.
Have realized New York's no consequences environment gives them plenty of time to break through in-store defense networks. Which brings us to the real reason the Costco in here now has a shoplifting problem. Since the Target is gone, the thieves have to target something else. Right. And although Costco statistically has the lowest rates of in-store theft of any major retailer in the city.
That's just crazy to me. I just can't even imagine people stealing from Costco. Like, they have those people that stand in the front, like, you know what I mean? They check your receipts. It's like, I didn't even know you could just be rampantly stealing from Costco like that. That's crazy.
Its highly touted membership, security, brand loyalty, and even their incredible pizza may not be enough to stop this Costco from suffering the same fate as Target.
Not the spam.
So here we are inside Costco, America's favorite superstore, except for maybe, well, Walmart. Look, you can get that Kirkland signature here, and you can't get it anywhere else. Plus, the environment here is completely different than our dystopian drugstores. In fact, none of the products here are locked up behind anything. There is heavy store security, however. In fact, you're not even getting in without a membership, which is very strange,
Right?
because you'd think if any store were to not have a shoplifting problem, it would
Oh,
be ready to
yeah.
go. But when you see what was happening,
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you do have to have a membership to get in there. So how are they having a theft prices? Like they're paying to steal? Like, how's that work?
the Target next door, which is now gone, it'll all make sense, and not in a good way.
Target says it's closing the store, citing rampant shoplifting that threatens the safety of employees and customers.
They come here, they steal, and I told them, yeah.
So, as you just heard, theft was rampant at the Target that was right next door to this place, and that's a problem at every store in New York. And we're not talking about Aladdin stealing a little spam to feed himself. No, we're talking about retail theft rings stealing things they can resell to make profit. In fact, theft is so bad in New York, it now accounts for $4.4 billion of the state's economic activity, where you've got
4.4 billion
items being stolen from physical stores and then resold online or at physical locations throughout the city for prices that are so low the items immediately sell, giving thieves an immediate reason to return to the scene of the crime, which they were doing at Target. Now, at the time, experts were writing articles praising Costco for not falling victim to retail theft the same way their competitors were, because it's not just Target that's been closing locations. Walmart's been doing the same thing.
I told you, Burlington. Oh, Walmart too. Oh yeah, we don't even have that many Walgreens out here anymore like that. Yeah. I did a video on Kensington, and I did a reaction video of Tommy G in San Francisco. Like I said, let me know. I'm actually starting to feel like I actually need to put some boots on the ground and get out there and start doing some content out there regarding these issues and things like that. Let me know if I should do that, man, because this is getting crazy.
Along with Walgreens, CVS, yet somehow Costco's been able to keep its theft numbers lower than 0.5% of inventory, which helps them keep their prices lower. But it just leaked that at this particular Costco, the theft levels are surprisingly large, and the items being stolen are equally surprising. Just take a look at the stuff getting stolen here. Everything from vacuums to vitamins to paper towels. How are people stealing paper towels? Even the batteries here are way too large to easily sneak out of the store with, and all the items getting stolen are things that you can easily resell on the internet. And the crazy thing is that all the theft going on here was entirely predictable after we all saw what happened just a couple of months ago.
The closure of this Target, it is a body blow to this community, for the people who shop here, for the many people who work here.
I have a question. Like, wouldn't like a Target like closing kind of like help like maybe a small business owner who like has like a small supermarket or something like that? I don't know if the thieves are targeting them, but I don't know. Somebody let me know in the comments. I don't know about that. The answer to that one.
And consider this Target store, it is the anchor store here at the East River Plaza, and the long-term concern that many have is this: if Target's leaving,
Who's next? Yeah.
So if a flagship store in a neighborhood shuts down, that's going to cause a massive ripple effect, not only through the other stores that are still here, but also the neighborhood itself. And if the Target that was here couldn't survive, what chance do the other stores have, especially now that it's gone and it's not bringing in all that anchor store traffic? Because even though there's a lot of business at this Costco specifically, the other stores here that were benefiting from the impulse buys that were happening at Target, the basic non-membership required shopping, the convenience, all of that's suffering now. On top of that, the criminals that were robbing the Target now have to focus their energy somewhere else. After all, we're talking about organized retail theft. It can't take a break just because the store where the inventory came from is gone. It just means the inventory's got to come from somewhere else now. But even though shockingly high numbers of theft are happening here at this very same Costco, it's probably not going anywhere anytime soon because of how this place is run. First of all, most of the money Costco makes doesn't come from the products they sell. Instead, it comes from their membership fees. Those membership fees also give people a sense of loyalty. They'll come here to buy anything that they were going to buy at Target, as long as the oversized items will fit inside their tiny apartments. And even though none of the products are locked up behind that progressive plexiglass we love and have so much of here in New York, you're not going to get out of the store with any of this stuff without someone stopping you. And there's only one entrance and one exit, and they're not the same. It also doesn't help that the entire store is built like a massive labyrinth of wall-to-wall deals that just kind of suck you in and keep you moving. On top of that, staffing at Costco is significantly better than at most of its competitors. At Target, you won't even see any employees employees half the time. Sometimes the security booth is even empty.
That's true.
You better believe they are watching you. And then there's the sheer magnitude of some of this stuff. Everything here is oversized,
Right.
warehouse size, whatever you want to call it. Literally nothing in the entire store is pocketable in any sense of the imagination, which is also a huge crime deterrent, because if you can't put
Right. So how are these people stealing this stuff? I'm trying to figure it out, man. Let me know. How would you guess they would steal it? Like, because I've noticed they've been doing like the bully kind of tactics, like in the Bay Area, like they'll just get a bag and just run out. But I don't see any other way besides that.
this stuff in your backpack or in your pocket, how the heck are you going to get out of the store with it and run down the street? That's impossible. In fact, most people that shop here use their private vehicle. I don't even think you can shop here without access to a car. But probably the most shocking part of this whole story is that theft is even happening here to begin with. And if it's bad here, you know it's bad pretty much everywhere else in town. And other stores are starting to take notice. They've got shoplifting problems as well. They don't want to end up like Target and have to shut down. But because those stores aren't Costco with their oversized packs of Kirkland signature tuna, they're stuck doing something else to try and survive, which is very surprising because the new plans and ideas being tested out at other stores could end up putting employees in danger.
I know they don't want none of these employees to go ahead and risk their life for the products. Like, I pray they don't even expect little Taekwon or Jaleesa or Becky or Megan or Jason to chase somebody out the store for some Aqua 4. Like, I tell my son quit immediately. Like, yeah, immediately.
So as you can imagine, no store in New York City is safe from rampant shoplifting, and TJ Maxx here, no exception. But apparently thieves have been so harsh on this place, they've had to take some very extreme measures to keep stuff in the store. But the problem is their new plan could be dangerous for employees.
If you shop at Home Goods, Marshalls, or TJ Maxx, you may now see store employees outfitted with body cameras. Parent company TJX says they've been rolled out in stores across the country.
So that is a very unique idea. Apparently, these are the same body scanner technology that the police use. And apparently, what they're going to do is give you the same wide-angle police perspective that happens when you watch 60 Minutes. Think of a security camera not attached to your house, but attached to a person. But although the company's now going to roll these out at select locations across the country, local laws are really going to have the biggest impact on whether or not this is even effective, because in New York...
I didn't even know if this is even legal. Can you? I don't even know. Yeah, somebody let me know in the comments if this is legal.
City, all of our laws call shoplifting a misdemeanor as long as it's under $1,000 worth of stuff. And as long as the shoplifter was peacefully using the force when they forced all of those items through their security boxes and out of the store, which automatically kind of makes this sound like an idea that will be of limited effectiveness, but hey, it's worth a shot. But there are other alarming aspects to having your employees strap on body cameras and follow people around the store that might be dangerous.
Most stores have surveillance cameras, so they're capturing these images to put employee who is not necessarily trained to fight crime, like a police officer, in position of getting close to these, hoodlums.
Not the hoodlums. I completely agree with that. I feel like if you are working a 9-to-5 at Target, TJ Maxx, Max Corporation, or whatever the hell they're called, I shouldn't have to be doing any other Avengers type activity, because that was definitely not on the resume, or that wasn't on the application. It wasn't a box for me to check and say, hey, will I jump in front of this bullet for the products? Because the answer would have been no. We could have caught that short quickly.
So the analyst here has a good point. Store employees, they have enough to do with putting all of the items back on the shelves and keeping the store well running to put themselves at risk for Play-Doh. This new policy could end up making people's jobs more dangerous than they need to be. And the worst part about it is it's being done in response to a problem that the city should be dealing with. In fact, it might not be possible to have enough store security in the world to make up for the fact that the police force here can't do its job. Plus, we've already got reports of store employees being attacked by emboldened shoplifters who feel entitled to everything in the store. Because in the crime economy, someone who stops you from stealing is stopping you from making a living and providing for your family, which is not something criminals find acceptable. And if you're wondering, this is also the reason why stores like Macy's now have a bike cable with tripwire roping through their jackets to keep them from walking out of the store and selling themselves on Amazon, and why at pretty much every store in town you'll find items behind lock and key in some manner. Yet nonetheless, stores think there is going to be some value in equipping their employees with body cameras.
Body cameras are currently used by certain loss prevention associations. associates who have gone through thorough training on how to use the cameras effectively in their roles. Body cameras are just one of the many ways that we work to support a safe store environment.
You train the employee on how to use the body cam, but did you train him or her on how to use these hands? Because that body cam ain't finna stop these from coming at you pretty quickly. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I think this is a great idea as long as nobody gets hurt. But how do we know that that's going to be the case? How do we know everybody who wears a body camera isn't going to be at risk? But it's at least somewhat relieving to see that the cameras won't be strapped to every employee.
Right.
Instead, it's the kind of thing that only the store loss prevention employees will be armed with cameras, which means at least we're talking about arming people with these things who have the presumed training to be able to use them effectively and also not to get themselves into some sort of altercation with people who are stealing the things in the store. Also, New York City just passed a law where it's now illegal to assault a store employee. That makes your peaceful shoplifting spree a violent one, and now it's a felony. And there's a chance that these new rules could actually help protect.
Oh, wow. Loophole. That was dope. I like what they did with that. They said stealing is a misdemeanor, but if you assault a store employee, that makes it a felony, which could balance the playing fields for this cops and robbers game that the world is playing right now.
Protect employees who end up encountering somebody who might decide that they would get violent if it weren't for the cameras.
America, really, actually.
For example, if the crooks are on camera attacking store employees, this could help get a conviction, which would hopefully get that criminal slapped with an ankle monitor instead of all the shoes in the store.
He says it can help upgrade a charge to robbery if the footage shows the suspect using force to shoplift.
It's all right. If the district attorneys are willing to prosecute, it's always right. Release, it's going to be a fail.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big deal since our district attorney, who usually is the one pressing the charges, has a habit of downgrading felonies to misdemeanors, except for one recent high-profile case. But other than that, most criminals get their charges either downgraded or dropped, or both. Now, our district attorney says this is often done to free up the court's time to go after more important criminals. But this brings us to the real reason we've got an out-of-control shoplifting problem in this city, and why it isn't just stores like Target that are in danger of shutting down. If no one's willing to go after the criminals who are stealing things, what chance do we...
This is just a shame right now. Who's going to protect the corporations? I'm just kidding. No, we know what it is. Like, this actually affects us because the corporations aren't going to ever take a L. They're going to just spend all that money on the body cam. They're going to raise the prices of their products. Like, so we understand what's going to do. That's all they're going to do is just raise their prices.
We have of stopping crime. And if nobody's willing to hunt down the criminals who keep breaking the law, won't they just keep doing it? What's their reason for stopping? And how effective are our new laws going to be if they won't stop people from going into stores and stealing whatever they want? Well, there's no dancing around the fact that the answers to these questions are not exactly encouraging.
Damn. Let me know in the comments if you've been to San Francisco lately. That's literally how downtown looks right now.
The owners of the big chains, especially, facing a 15 to 20% decline in their sales.
Wow.
Police.
It's a society where it's not fine.
Wow.
Honestly, the situation here is so bad. Shoplifting is literally shutting down businesses and destroying our neighborhoods. As mentioned, TJ Maxx already losing customers, probably because as operating costs go up, they've got to jack up their prices to still make money, which they then have to do a second time after the stuff inside the store gets stolen and sold somewhere that's not the store that paid for that stuff, which is probably why less people can shop at the stores. They're just too expensive for people who are already struggling with insane rents and grocery prices in this city. But it gets worse because these theft rings, they're not just removing items from the store that the store needs to sell to stay open. No, they're then creating a competitor, a low-cost competitor, because they can resell that item on the internet or at another physical store here in the city with basically no minimum because it's all profit. And this is no exaggeration. A local cosmetic store was doubling as a fencing operation, reselling things that had been looted from Macy's. And think about that. How long is a store like Macy's going to eat?
So was that a small business? NYC cosmetic store that doubled as fencing operation. Plus with $1 million in stolen goods.
Operation reselling things that had been looted from Macy's. And think about that. How long is a store like Macy's going to even be able to stay open if people steal the things inside the store and sell them elsewhere for less? Who's even going to shop there? It also doesn't help that the cosmetics fencing operation had a physical location, kind of like this one right here, right on the side of the street, where customers would just walk in and think they were making a legitimate purchase. But this doesn't just happen in shady.
Oh, wow. So okay. So I thought they were selling it and everybody knew they were getting some illegal, so they were just selling it like it was their products. Oh, that's shady.
Stores on the side of the street in New York. In fact, many times when we buy things on the internet, they're much cheaper for a reason called rampant retail theft. It's true. A lot of those little stores on Amazon, eBay, they're where this stuff ends up. But when we see an expensive name brand item for half the price of what it sells for in a store, we assume that that's just because this is an online business. They don't have the same types of overhead a place like Macy's does. And while that's true,
that is so true. I have bought some stuff online and I was like, wow, the price is just so low. It can't be I didn't know. Maybe I got not swindled. I got a good deal. maybe I got some stolen merchandise I didn't know was stolen. Let me know in the comments if you guys have saw something and thought the deal was just too good to be true on eBay or Amazon, and now this might be a realization that it probably might have been not came from the same retailer.
True, there's a reason the things you buy at Walgreens cost as much as they do. Yes, having a store is part of the problem, but you've got to remember the manufacturers of all of these name brand products, they've got a minimum that they're going to accept. And that's why when you look at something for sale on Macy's or at another big department store, the price doesn't change a whole lot. You've got to import these items. You've got to pay the customs. You've got to buy them in a sufficient quantity to even get a low price. All those costs add up into the cost of the product that we eventually pay for. Would an online store be cheaper? Yeah, but not by unless, of course, the items are stolen, in which case the thieves have an inventory cost of $0. They can list at any price they want and sell out because it's less than the real price, which is the real reason why in-store traffic is declining to begin with. The criminal underworld selling goods on the internet will always be cheaper, which means the illegal shoplifting businesses in this country are always going to have customers as long as they're allowed to exist. In fact, the amount of customers they have only increases as more and more stores get shut down due to the theft that's causing all of these problems in the first place. So why do we let this exist? Why are we here in New York happy watching our cost of living go up and up and up as the thieves steal the stuff we were going to buy and now it has to cost more? Is that what's going on here? Is that the problem? What would you do to stop shoplifting here in New York? Would you lock up the criminals or would you lock up the deodorant just so nobody's feelings get hurt? Thanks.
This is my first reaction to Cash Jordan, and I actually like this because he's out there putting boots on the ground and trying to at least get to the bottom of the conversation out there that's plaguing America. So let me know if you want me to do more Cash Jordan reactions and this type of genre right here. If you made it this far, that means you put some paint where it ain't. And for that, you need to be thanked. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, share to be aware, put me in that algorithm because I need to be there. Because I know there's 10 other streamers out there doing it like me, but...
Fuck that other little 10. I'm maxed out.